Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Obsessive Pickleball podcast. I'm super excited that I'm even filming the second episode. I feel like the first one is easy because you're motivated. And my goal, my milestone is 10 episodes. And after that, I'm hoping we'll just be on a roll and I'll really get into it. So we'll see. But I did promise that I wouldn't just be me talking all the time. So I have a friend coming over to chat about this weekend's PPA Texas Open, which was crazy. But for now, I'm just going to give you kind of a little housekeeping while I wait for her to get here. She's running late. Apparently, there's traffic in LA. I don't know. Who knew? So, first of all, if you know me, and probably a lot of people listening do know me because I don't know, again, thank you so much, friends, for listening. But I fell off a climbing wall in November and sprained my ankle very badly. I was scooting all around the airport to get home for the holidays. Maybe I'll add a little video to this because we are filming for YouTube. Crutching around, scooting around. It was terrible. I couldn't play pickleball for almost 3 months. And people have been asking me, oh, I can't imagine my life if I couldn't play pickleball. I can't imagine. Oh, I think that would be terrible to be out that long. It was terrible. It was as bad as you think it would be. It was bad. It was like a big joy that I usually have was taken away from me. And I'm back. I'm getting back into it. Thank goodness. But yes, I wouldn't recommend bouldering, which is when you climb without a rope, to anyone. I will never do it again. People are like, oh, you definitely will. Oh, you'll get back on there, blah, blah, blah. Because it was really fun. I was getting really good. But no, it's not worth it. I feel like if I fell on my ankle again, it would just crumble into mush. And it's not worth the risk because pickleball is life. I need to be able to play pickleball. Anyway, so I've been getting back on the courts, and it's been hard because it's really hard to gauge how good you are when you're playing. So I will think that I'm playing really well and I will lose every game. I'm like, how did this happen? So recently, Pickle Pop, greatest indoor sports facility in history, not just pickleball, but greatest sports facility in the history of the universe, where I am the general manager in Santa Monica. I guess technically this podcast is sponsored by Pickle Pop because the money I make from working there is how I bought this microphone. So there you go. Anyway, we have open play at Pickle Pop, and it's divided by different skill level. And people take these skill levels very seriously. Like, you don't understand how many emails I get about the open plays not being the correct skill level. And we have an advanced open play, and it's 4.0 and above. And I used to go to it, and I just want to say that in the past, I have medaled in 4-5 tournaments. So I do think I'm a 4-5. I do think I'm at least a 4-0 player. I'm back from my injury. I was like, I can go to advanced open play, no problem. So I go thinking no biggie. I'm playing. I think I'm having great points. I think everything's going well. And then I'm like, wait, I don't think anyone wants to play with me right now. I feel like they're waiting to go on this court that I'm not on. And I was like, maybe they just honestly don't like me. Or maybe they don't think I'm good at pickleball. I'm like, I can't decide which is worse. I think being bad at pickleball, if you don't like me, okay, nothing I can do about it. But if you think I'm bad at pickleball, then I got to drill. I got to get into it. That's a personal insult. Anyway, but recently I have seen myself getting a little bit better and a little bit better. And what has actually changed the game is I did it. I finally succumbed and I got the new Yola. 14 millimeter Perseus. It's amazing. I've always been a carbon girly. I loved my 1X. I think it's an amazing paddle. I was like a beast on the court with it for sure. But when I was injured, it seems as though, paddle technology has gone from 0 to 100. And I really wanted to like the true form. I really did. And I liked it. It was a good paddle, but for me personally, the handle was a little too thick and it was a little bit too heavy. And people it's not heavy, but I don't know, the swing or something, it was a little clunky for me. So I was like, I'll do it. I'll try the Yola. And I'm not even lying. I'm a different player. Could I just be getting better quickly because I was injured for so long? Maybe. We'll never know because now I'm a Yola girl through and through. I didn't want to be a Yola girl for a while because I felt like everyone was using the Yola and I was like, oh, I just want to be edgy and different and use the carbon. But alas, let's just rip off the Band-Aid and go with Yola. So Yola, if you're listening to this, you can sponsor me. I think your clothes are cute. Anyway.
This is Pickleball Queen.
Okay. As I promised, I have friends. I'm here with Indigo Cuccetti. Did I just fuck it up?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, perfect.
I don't even know how it's pronounced, honestly.
Actually, I feel the same way about my name, like Holland.
Holland.
It's easy, but then like people like Hulan. I'm like maybe.
Who?
So, Indigo is extremely obsessed with pickleball.
Yeah.
I think, rivaling me, but not quite. I have a few legs up on her in the obsessed category. But Indigo, why are you obsessed with pickleball?
You know, let me go into my pickleball, how I got into it in the first place, which was I happened to be going to Memorial Park in Santa Monica.
As we all have.
As we all have. It's what is it? You pay your dues.
An entry.
An entry, yeah. And I actually went there, pay your dues, like.
I think every pickleball player in LA needs to pay their dues at Memorial Park.
They do. Yeah. They do. It's your gateway, and eventually people graduate. And I think that's true for so many people that are at, their local parks where they start and they're like, oh, I'm really into this. Maybe they have a tennis background. I do not. And then like they graduate and you never see them again. And you're like, wow, I wonder if they quit or like maybe they're doing tournaments.
They probably just like found a court that's better than Memorial, which is
not hard.
Every court.
Yeah, it's bad. But I think they're tearing it down. Anyways. Don't want to start the gossip. But I walked up to people randomly playing softball because I just moved from New York and I did that in New York where I was like, hey, can I play with you? And they were like, yes, we actually need women for co-ed teams. If we don't have enough women, they're automatic outs, blah, blah, blah. I was like, let me just try it again. Walk up to these people and they're like, oh, we're actually here to play pickleball, but you can play with us for a little bit or join us. And I was like, okay, like what's pickleball? I had never heard of it. It sounds weird. Like pickleball, you're like, oh, a pickle. Like, I don't know. Tried it one time. This guy lent me his paddle. Immediately, I was like, no sport exists. Like, this is it. And I was like, the guy ended up leaving. I was there for 3 hours. And I was like, oh, your paddle. And he was like, I'm sure I'll see you again. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll hold on to it. And like, definitely saw him. He knew. And then I saw him again. And then I didn't see him again. But yeah.
You did see him again or you didn't?
I did see him and I gave him back his paddle. But then I think he got into like hiking and I'm not sure, like wasn't obsessed like I was from day one.
I just got chills thinking that he was like a ghost. Like a
pickleball ghost.
Like just coming into your life when you need it.
Wait.
But I love that.
A fairy godfather?
So your obsession manifests, I think, in like a very rigorous training schedule. Yeah. Why don't you just like give us a little explanation of your insanity?
Well, so that went on for a couple months where I just went to Memorial. I was in between jobs and I was there for like 12 hours and I would just like a day. I would just top my time and I would order food there or eat a bar and then by 6 p.m. be like, I can't walk, but like I'll get another game. People are like, last game. And they're like, want to get one more? And I was like, yes, like hit me with the pickleball. I need it more. And it was, I mean, I don't know how like deep to get into it, but it was like post-pandemic and I'd gained a lot of weight and just like in between jobs, it was like kind of everything just felt so shitty. I was going to like censor myself, but like, fuck that. And pickleball just completely changed my life. Like I was like, I'm ready to get up in the morning. I want to go see all those 3 Marks that I met. There's so many Marks, so many Tims, so many Toms, like all those like generic names, lovely people. And I just wanted to be outside. And I ended up like getting back in shape and eating well and getting sunshine, vitamin D. Like it really helped me in more ways than just, a fun new sport, but tagging that onto a fun new sport, like hooked. I was like, what is this? I'm addicted. My background's in dance. And so a lot of that training was just like daily, the same thing. And with pickleball, I was like, okay, everything is so new. I didn't know what a thirst drop was for like 3 months. And like, I saw the better people and I'm like, oh, why won't they let me play with them? And then someone was like, you know, look online, like go on YouTube and watch something. And that's when it like really hit. And I was like, I will watch every single video on YouTube that says pickleball. And that was like the beginning, figuring out that you could be a professional. And then I was like, I want to do that.
I think I'm gonna cry because it's exactly the same. Exactly the same thing happened to me during the pandemic. That like I changed my entire life when I started playing pickleball.
Mhm.
Everything about my life changed.
Yeah.
And this is not what this podcast is
I know.
about, but I like
We need it.
like we need it. And I think that people I think a lot of times I try to explain to people like why I'm so obsessed with pickleball. It's like they like actually changed my life.
Yeah.
Like anyway.
No. Cry.
Okay, let's pivot.
Okay. Segue.
Texas Open.
Yeah.
Holy schmolies.
Holy
Cat.
schmolies.
Yeah, the cats.
They know what's up. Okay.
What a tournament. I took some notes.
Okay.
What do you want to start with?
Honestly,
you want to start with the girls?
I kind of want to just the most like recent thing that I was watching, and I wanted to text you, but like my stomach was in knots and I was like on the edge of my seat and I was like, this is the feeling that I live for with sports. Yeah. Where like I've watched a lot of sports, but sometimes I'm not as invested where people are like, come on, and like, you know, but this was a moment where I was like on the edge of my seat. Arden was trying to tell me something and I was like, stop. Like, I need to watch this right now.
On the edge of my seat,
wanting to know what I'm talking about. It was Annalie and Kate Fahey, and I thought Kate was going to win the second game.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she had it, and I feel like every tournament anyone comes close, I'm like, they had it. And I've actually had that feeling where I'm like, I had it, but then I didn't. And it's also Annalie.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, for Annalie in singles, I just feel like we've been duped so many. Like,
I know.
It's like he keeps saying he's going to be different.
Yeah.
And you get your hopes up.
Yeah.
And then
he's not.
Then they never are.
Yeah.
You always think it's going to happen, and then guess what? It doesn't.
Hi. Booty scratchies. Booty scratchies. You can come over here.
But yeah, I mean, I think Kate Fahey, in my opinion, because she's so new, of all of the women out there, has the most chance of being on Annalie's level.
Yeah.
I think like Brooke can beat Annalie.
I think so too. Yes.
Beat her in a match or just game?
I think she beat her in a match, or it was so close. It was the best singles match.
I think I was there.
Were we there?
Was that in San Clemente or Dallas?
No, it was indoor. It was indoor. No, it was outdoor.
No, I think I was there. I can't remember where it was.
There was.
I don't know. I'm in so many.
I've literally watched so many. I can't remember which one, but I remember watching it and being like, Brooke is ripping the ball.
She can rip the ball.
And she was also Red Annalie. It was like it looked like they were playing a chess match, and I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, but you know what?
But it's Annalie.
But you know what?
Yeah, I want to see other people win.
Sickening. When you know where the ball's gonna go.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Anticipation.
Her anticipation's insane.
Next level.
Her paddle hits hard.
Yeah.
Let's just say her paddle might hit a little hard.
I mean,
I think it might hit hard.
It hits hard.
It's actually funny. Like, I overheard a pro talking about how like frustrating it is to have a paddle and then wonder if there are other people who have maybe
different paddle. Yeah.
And it's like it sounds different, but we don't need to get into it.
We don't have to get into it.
It's been said.
It can be another pod, or it's already been said.
She's so young and so fast. Like,
yeah.
Like,
and
well, do you want to know what I was on the edge of my seat about?
Yes.
I think you already know. Georgia Johnson, JW Johnson.
You should let me guess.
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
Well, I already focused. Again.
Riley Newman and Leigh Jansen.
That was the most. Every week I say there's the most intense.
Yes.
But that was crazy because Riley, we haven't seen a lot of Riley.
No.
We've seen him, but not like how we used to. And he was being extra Riley.
Yeah.
Extra crazy, extra all over the place. And I thought Leia was playing very well. I haven't seen her in mixed a lot. Like, it was just kind of a new team that was new and fresh. And they were like giving Georgia and J-Dub a battle.
Actually, you know the lore. Like, you know a lot more history.
Hey, what lore you want to get
Well,
into?
I just want to know, have they played together before? I would assume that Riley and Leia have played together.
Yeah.
This year?
Together, I think, in some tournaments this year.
Oh,
But
I would have.
like partners from before that.
Oh.
Do you
Really?
remember? Were you watching when Riley and Catherine split, and then Riley was like going to audition Jesse Irvin and Anna Bray? One of the best matches in pickleball. Okay, let's get into it.
Wait.
One of the best matches in pickleball ever. Okay, little lore.
Yes.
Okay, Riley Newman and Catherine Parento, longtime partners.
Yeah.
They were like the only people kind of touching Ben and Anna Leigh when Ben and Anna Leigh first started playing together.
This is like the number 1, number 2 of their 100 games that they've won. Yeah.
So
Single digits.
OG mixed rivalry, the Newmans, Riley Newman, Lindsay Newman. Lindsay Newman is one of my favorite ever person.
Goat.
And they used to play Simone and Ben and would go head to head. And Simone and Ben won most of it, but the Newmans did win sometimes. And that was a good rivalry. So then Ben leaves Simone, starts playing with Anna Leigh. Riley and Lindsay separate. I mean, Lindsay has like 50 bazillion kids. Like, she was not locked.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she's cool.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to go. You do your thing, Riley.
Yeah.
So then he starts playing with Catherine. And they are a really good partnership. Blah, blah, blah. But I guess, like, they weren't winning enough. So Riley broke up with Catherine. So flashback to the next year. Riley says, I'm going to play a little bit with Jesse Irvin and a little bit with Anna Bright this year. And it was very much audition. The same way he was like auditioning men's partners. The same way Ben, like, there's a lot of auditioning that happens in pickleball, which is like, actually kind of hilarious to me because it never ends well for the auditioner.
No.
It never ends well for the auditioner. I mean, we don't even have to get into like when Matt and Riley broke up and then Riley like couldn't win again. And so they're inside. I want to say it's Milwaukee. They're inside. Somewhere cold. Inside. Anna Bright and Riley Newman are playing, and they're supposed to be like the team. Catherine's playing with James Ignatowicz.
This is so funny. Like, what year is this? This is like right before I must have started watching because I'm like, this already, where we are now, I'm like, this is insane.
It's insane. So it's the first time that like Riley and Catherine are facing each other. And Catherine happens to be playing with James Ignatowicz, Anna's boyfriend at the time.
Okay. Yeah. Then I do.
It was crazy. I'm sure you've seen this. The match was insane.
Oof.
It was back and forth. It was so crazy. James is like new on the scene. He's like never really. That was his first mixed gold medal. It might have been his first doubles gold medal, which is crazy. But back and forth, back and forth. Game 3. Surprise, surprise. James Ignatowicz has to do injury timeout. I don't know if there's like any player who's had as many injury times out today, but he like was shaking and like had to eat mustard and stuff.
I remember there was one where he won, and it might have been when he was like, yeah, this is the first time winning, or like I need to throw up, or I just threw up or something. There was some like interview. Okay, then I did watch it. Yeah.
Okay, so
unless he throws up a lot.
So intense. It's like semifinals only. Catherine and James win. James comes over and like grabs Catherine, like hugs her and like spins her around, and I was like,
wait,
a lot of people aren't gonna like this. I literally was like, that's it. This partnership is
I wish we could pull this up right now.
So then you hear next Anna, there's like an announcement with Anna and James, like, we're gonna play together now. It's just like not good.
Wait, I feel like it's coming back to me. I remember this.
So then James and Anna start playing together.
Right.
And Anna like is like, bye Riley.
Yeah.
I gotta play with my
man's.
my boo.
Oh.
It was such a good match.
Okay.
It's just funny. I mean,
it's coming back to me.
They played together and then they were like one of the top mixed teams for a while. But the whole situation was hilarious. Because this is also when there was kind of like a rivalry between Anna and Catherine.
Yeah.
Which, like, doesn't really exist anymore because I think Anna has like, I want to say like leveled herself up.
Yeah.
She has kind of been like, I win this rivalry. But there was definitely a rivalry time because remember when Anna Leigh was auditioning Anna Bright and Catherine.
I need to watch. I want to go back and like watch some of these games because like
a moment in pickleball history.
There is so much good pickleball history that I feel like I obviously need to like brush up on because it's so interesting to know the dynamics or the things that are happening now because there are like first gen pro, like OG, then there's like OG, and then people can rise, and then there's like new school, and then they're going to be more and more and more. Like the fact that people are going pro or getting signed or coming onto the scene in a big way now, like one of our favorite players, Tina Pisnik, to just like come and burst on and just like, she's a queen.
Yeah, she's so good.
I
obsessed with Tina Pisnik.
I just think it's great.
Okay, so anyway, Georgia and Jada versus Leia and Riley was insane. I could barely watch. I was like, holding my breath. And I think ultimately, like, we were reminded what we already knew. Georgia Johnson is the greatest player in pickleball.
She's the greatest player in pickleball, and it makes me sad when, like, the crowd was cheering her on in the gold medal match, and I just relate. I don't know why. It's like this parasocial thing where you see people and you're like, oh my God, I get them and they get me. Where Georgia, it seemed like the energy was going down because they'd lost the first two games. And this was in the championship. And I'm like, I wish we could just remind her of how great she is and how great she just played. And that, I don't know. I think that once the seal's broken, I think once they do it, it could be with J-Dub, it could be with someone else. I think together, I mean, I don't know. I'm speaking from experience playing with my partner that, like, it can just be really tough. And I can't imagine playing with a sibling. And, like, they're both top of their game. And then if there's, like, an unspoken, it's just hard to communicate. Even if they have a game plan and they're playing and then there it is, Ben and Annalie, and they're never going to lose. You know, the pressure.
My sister a lot, and when it's working really well.
Yeah.
But if the littlest thing happens that disconnects us, it's like so hard to get back.
Yeah.
But I think also J-Dub just plays better when he's not. Like, he played stronger with Anna than
he did
with Georgia. There's something that he doesn't want to be overly aggressive.
Yeah.
And I actually think, like, for men, I don't know who would be. I'm trying to think.
I think there are a couple people in the running. I was gonna say Christian. I think Christian does a really good job of adapting to. He's just very athletic, and he can play the right or he can play the left. And I think, you know, he can listen to direction and, like, stick to a game plan. And I think that's you know, that's a benefit in this game if you can, you know, do what you can with whoever you can, because he's played with several different partners. Honestly, I really liked him playing with Tyra. I thought they did a really good job.
No, they were.
I would like to see Alshon and Georgia play. It's so different.
So who should Georgia's women's doubles be?
Okay.
I don't want to separate the girlies, and this is nothing negative against.
I just want to see it.
Anna Bray and Georgia.
I just want to see it. Just one time.
Georgia is, like, slaying on the right now.
She's been slaying on the right. She's been slaying. And I want her to shine. And I feel like, you know, when in doubt, if she is on the left, she can also slay on the left. Like, they don't need to stack or rewind or, like, do anything crazy. If necessary,
beat on the stack.
They're not going to lose 3-4 points with oopsies.
And I think that sometimes with doubles teams, you have to switch it up because the other team will figure out how to beat you.
Yeah.
So it's like right now, like, have Annalie and Catherine figured out how to beat the girlies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's like, but anyway, the point is, I just want to see Georgia and Anna and see what happens.
I want to see it.
I mean, also, I talked about my last podcast, but it would just be like, you know,
thank you for the kiss.
One time when Anna Bright beat Georgia and J-Dub when she was playing games, she said in her interview, it was really cute how, like, Georgia was, like, the first, Georgia and J-Dub were, like, the first people she ever played with, and, like, she appreciates them so much, and, like, they were so amazing to her, like the Johnsons. It was so freaking cute. So anyway, I think that would be good.
Did Ben won with Etta?
Ben won with Etta, Ben lost with Anna, and Ben lost with Catherine.
Right.
Etta would be a good partner for him. I think
I would enjoy seeing Ben play with Etta and Annalie play with someone else. It could be anyone. It could be, you know, an athletic player who we've seen so many emotions on screen.
Yeah, you know.
Like, so we need to get we've seen it. That's what I wanted to get into. I was like, segue, let's hop in.
Okay, Christian Alshon. Last week we saw him lay on the ground and, like, pound the ground because he won
for, like, a good, I'm exaggerating, 10 minutes.
You might not.
It just felt so long.
And so the ground's so dirty.
Like,
get up.
But, like, I don't know. Celebrate your wins. I've never won Wimbledon. I told you I have no background in tennis. Like, I don't know what that feeling would be, but I hear, like, maybe there's a comparison. Unfortunately or fortunately, like, this isn't Wimbledon.
First of all, there's a pickleball tournament, 3 times a month that he's playing in. Number one. Number two, okay, it's your first win, celebrate it.
Yes.
Your second win.
Yes.
My grandpa, who was a football coach forever, used to say, and I don't think this is an uncommon thing.
Wait, I can't wait.
Okay, like, act like you've
been here before. I should have said it when you said it.
Embarrassing. Like,
yeah, act like you've been here before.
don't remind us.
Yeah.
Like, act like you've been there before and that you're coming back next week.
Yeah. Which is like what the announcer or like the guy who was giving the trophy, he was like, you know, we saw you here a year ago when you won or something, and you said you would be back for more, and like, we're happy to see you. And like, that's a lovely thing to say. And he can just say, yes, happy to be here, gonna be back again next week.
It's a lot.
You know? Or sometimes it's just a lot. It's just a lot in my opinion. Pop off. All of these are my opinions.
About what we were just talking about, Christian celebrating, and I'm thinking about some of the celebrations I've done on my wins, and I don't know. I should not be talking. Like,
wait, no. No, you did not lay on the ground.
No, so yeah. So when my sister and I won our first, when we won, we're at Playing the Summer Sea Colony. Shout out Sea Colony. There's like a yearly like Sea Colony Classic and theater tournament. And last year, not this most recent summer, the summer before, we were entering the 4-0 bracket. It was like 4 plus or something higher, and we were like nervous. We were like training to get ready.
Yeah.
And we won. Like, we probably gave up 8 points in like, because it's not only a 4-0, but it's like, let's just say like they're an older demographic.
It is. It is.
The way that Bridget screamed and hugged me, and
Wait.
the photos we took, our friend Brush, like, you would think we won, like, it's so embarrassing. And then I'm thinking when I won the Santa Monica Pickleball Center 4.0 plus round robin, how obnoxious I was. Like, I didn't care. I was like, I trained for this. Like,
I came here.
Like, I'm gonna be a lot, and that was nothing. I got a $75 gift card, and he's getting thousands of dollars and a bunch of points. So, Christian, this is my formal apology. You know what?
Pop off.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. I will say it's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
And are you not entertained? I am entertained. This kind of segues into like, I don't know, crowd reactions, and like the crowd looked very electric. There were also in the wind, there were like blankets and things, so many distractions. And anyway, segueing into Leia and Annalie's match with Leia's phone going off.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
That left a really sour taste in my mouth.
I just couldn't believe that that was happening, and that, you know, okay, let's recap the story.
So, Leia's diabetic. She has like a tracker where she tracks her insulin levels. And during the match, her phone, which has, I guess, an alarm for any play for her to know. I don't know the science of it, but it's an alarm for her insulin. And they're playing the point, and it goes off like beep, 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 beep. And Annalie, and they play the point, it's over.
It was the first point.
And then Annalie's like, how is that not a distraction? And the ref was basically like, okay, like, replay. And then Leia was pissed, as she should be.
Yeah.
And went over and was like, that was...
How is this a replay of a point?
Until she made a big fuss about it and all this stuff. And it was crazy.
It was wild. And it was like, it's an outdoor venue. There are tons of people watching. It could have been anybody's phone. Leia did not plant her phone to go off in that moment. What is she supposed to do? Her phone is on silent. She's playing, you know.
And she said something like, my phone is on silent.
It
can't be silent. It's for my health.
It's for my health.
And I get it. Like, here. Like.
And then she had to, like, throw her phone, you know, away. She's like, take it out of the stadium because I can't control when it's going to go off. And it's like, I know this is like maybe being a little too dramatic, but like, it is her health. I think that she should have it. Like, what if something really bad happens and her phone could have told her, like, I don't know the science behind it, but they should check the rules on that.
This goes back to how many tournaments there are a year. There are so many tournaments, and Annalie wins at every tournament.
Yeah.
At what point is it like, really?
It already is.
Like, this is a hill you're gonna die on.
It already is.
Like, where, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a lot. It was just like, you think you're gonna lose to her because of that one interruption, because of her thing? Like, if it was me, and I'm playing someone that I beat consistently for 2 years, and that goes off, I let it slide. If it goes off 100 times during the match, if it keeps going off,
if it's distracting,
and it's actually distracting,
but
maybe like in the beginning, I'm like, okay, that's her. Like, I'm gonna let that go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep playing the point.
I also would probably do the same. If it's distracting, be like, hey, this is kind of distracting. Like, can we figure out, like, I don't know. Can we find an alternative? But to replay the point, like, that's ridiculous. How many times have we wanted to replay a point because someone on the other court's announcer, like, calls a name, like, right when you serve, or the music, or, like, all these distractions that are out of our control. And you might say, like, that is in Leia's control, but it's not. It's actually, like, connected. I just thought it was crazy that after throwing a fuss, the ref changed her mind. And I would have been on Leia's side in that you should have an opinion of your own, ref.
There was a really funny moment afterwards when she like got the ball back and someone in the stand yelled, and she like smiled.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll go an entire match without seeing Leia smile at
Yeah.
all. And then she smiled. It was almost like she was breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
I
I did too.
who that was yelling. It was a random person.
I
It
did
was another
too.
player.
I actually, jumping back to the Georgia match, I was like, Jane is there. Because someone kept being like, you got it, Georgia! Like, you got this! And it was amazing. And I was like, I wish you were there.
So when I first started going to pickleball tournaments way back in the day, like 2021, 22, this is when it was so small.
Mm-hmm.
And we were only on YouTube. And it was teeny tiny. You were literally sitting like from here
Bleachers.
to the camera. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we'll get early and we'd sit there the whole time. My sister got in a little fight with Matt while he was playing, which was pretty funny. And
can we clip that?
This is a really funny story.
Can we clip that?
This is a really funny story.
I want to see that.
Oh, there was this one time we're at this tournament, and you can always hear us on the YouTube because we're so loud and it's so small. And this one time we're in Palm Springs and we're screaming so loud, cheering for Irina and Lauren Stratman against the Waters. And Bridget in the middle of the point is like, how about that D? And you can like hear it on Bridget. And then I can't remember who was like the announcer at the time. It might have been Adam Stone or I don't know, maybe Rob Cassidy, I don't know. And they were like, oh, someone just got shushed in the audience. That was us. Julian Arnold was coaching at the time, and he was like there with Lauren, and he came over and he was like, hey, like, you guys are the best. Like, try not to cheer during the points. Like, we don't want to give them any reason to like be mad. And I was like, see, Bridget told you. And they're like, oh, like, are you her boyfriend? Are you her coach? She's like, coach, boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And this was before I knew who Julian Arnold was.
Wow.
And I was like, wait, okay. Anyway.
And yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, this is a funny water story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we were at this tournament, and Emily was playing with Deckel for some reason. I don't know where Ben was. Maybe not playing that tournament.
Annalie and Deckel?
Yeah, just like a random tournament. And Catherine was playing with Riley. And also, we had just taken a clinic with Riley and Lindsay, so we were extra like amped on Riley. So we were cheering really loud for Catherine and Riley, like really loud. You can hear us all over the YouTube. And at one point, like Declan and Annalie are losing, and Leigh Waters comes over to where we're sitting.
Stop.
No, I'm not lying. Takes Bridget's water bottle, moves it, and sits down in front of us, kind of daring us, like, are you going to keep cheering against my daughter if we're sitting right there? It was so uncomfortable. I don't do, like,
confrontation.
Like, I like an adult.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I do not do.
Well, yeah.
Conflict. And I was like, oh my God. But it was actually kind of funny because it's like, wow, we really got in their face that she's going to come
and sit here.
And sit here. So
wow.
How crazy is that? Is that a crazy story?
I mean, there are too many people now for her to stay up with that.
Well, yeah, like, you won't be affected by one person's voice anymore.
Yeah.
But I always thought that was really, really
That's hilarious. Honestly.
Let's hop into the women's doubles. Annalie and Catherine fall in the quarterfinals. First time
yeah.
did not make the semis.
Yeah.
That was, I watched, so I didn't watch that one live because I was playing pickleball. And I kind of was like, oh, you know, it's like the women's quarterfinals is going to be boring.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were playing together.
Yeah.
And I kept seeing on the TV, I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You were like, no spoilers.
I was trying not to look because I saw the interview and all I saw was like red. And I was like, well, they were wearing black. So let's check this out.
So I watched the match.
Yeah.
It was a boring match to watch, actually, because the wind was like.
The wind!
It was like.
The wind was ridiculous.
Everyone was just like battling.
Yeah, themselves, like internally, like how are we playing the sport? Like I think Fed at one point like held up the wind meter. I don't know if they were going to delay the game. Annalie did try to delay the game. Yeah, she tried, but it didn't work. And I feel like it's an even playing field, and everyone who's in a windy city like practice in the wind because you can't change the elements. And
we have the girlies against Tyra and Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tyra and Paris played out of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
It must be really, really hard to play, have so much time in between your matches.
Oh my
Like,
God.
the girlies just
The wind. Okay, wind done. I feel like the girlies sometimes have slow starts. I think that there have been times when they played Annalie and Catherine and maybe when whoever's won, typically I feel like from jump is like, let's rock out. Like the first point, they're already like, yeah, and they don't even need to scream, even though they're going to scream. But sometimes there's like this default mode that's like, all right, we're going to get into it. We're going to groove. We're going to see what they're going to bring to us. And then we can give it back to them. Where I think Paris and Tyra were like, let's go now. They were like, let's go now.
Our outfits are too cute.
We are too cute to lose. And they did not lose.
They did not lose.
And they looked so great winning. Winning it all.
Okay, let's talk men's. Before we get into like the ben of it all, I just want to say that I'm absolutely obsessed with Dylan and Andre's partnership, and I want them to stay together for the rest.
I think it's fun. Always be closing. I think it's fun to see Dylan, I don't know, coming into his own. It feels like he's coming into his own in so many ways, and the ceiling is high.
He was always second best to Jada,
and
I think it stifled him.
Yeah.
So I loved that match. I really wish they had won.
Yeah.
But that was a really, really fun match. Okay,
that was super fun.
The team, like the chosen ones, like the one that we're supposed to want.
It was messy.
It was messy, but I think that Ben follows me on Instagram. I made a post where I was like, I read somewhere, maybe the Dink, I don't remember, something where they were like, undeniably the best player in the world, Ben Johnson. I was like, I'm denying it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm denying it because, not saying he's not the best, but I think there's doubts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that, we don't know if he's the best mixed doubles player because he plays with Annalie. He's not the best singles player. Is he the best men's double player? And there was questions because he kept losing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Andre and Christian, Fed and Hayden, Gabe and Andre. People were beating him.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I think he realizes that if he needs to be the number one men's doubles player in the world.
Yeah.
For the Ben Johns brand. And he played with Gabe, didn't make it happen. Played with Hayden, didn't make it happen. Now, when he was playing with Andre, the way he was battling in the semifinal match against J-Dub and CJ was wild. Like, I have not seen him locked in like that.
Yeah.
Because he's never had to be.
Well, I feel like we've seen him get emotional.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a bag and then he just turns it on, but it's only in spurts. I've never seen him start to finish
Fight.
Locked, fight, right here. Fight, right here.
He's not gonna lose. He's like, I'm making this Gabe thing work.
Yeah.
And he's like on another level.
Yeah. I love it. I think we need more of it. I think
it's game 4 and you're like, but Ben's still gonna win.
Ben's gonna win. If you put money on it,
he's gonna win.
You gotta bet on Ben.
He's gonna win. So Gabe played really well. You can definitely see that Ben is pumped when Gabe does really good plays. It
was honestly great. Ben looked like a renewed partner, honestly, with Gabe. And I thought that was refreshing because I think Gabe needs that. I think Gabe wants that. I think they both want that. And so it's nice to see that relationship growing, and it'll be more.
I agree. This.
Like and subscribe.
Indigo does get an Instagram.
Yeah. Blow it up. I want to go viral.